Rising cost of living has dwarfed the purchasing power of many Nigerians. With inflation at over 30%, organized labor is asking for a minimum wage of 615,000 naira. It is a staggering 1,950% increase from the current 30,000 naira minimum wage. Authorities have offered 48,000 naira, but that has been roundly rejected by labor. What should be the ideal wage? What is reasonable and what is possible? In this story, Just Nigeria's Mercy Frank speaks to experts, labor leaders, and average Nigerians to weigh in on the debate.
The average Nigerian whose take-home barely takes him home.
The present minimum wage of 30,000 cannot even take you to a month. Talk less of having a savings.
It's a crossroad. The worker caught in between labor demands and government's proposal.
If government cut down on their wasteful spending, unnecessary expenditures, I believe that they will have enormous resources to be able to pay at the end of the day the minimum wage we are requesting for.
If the previous one hadn't been implemented in a number of states, how are we sure even this new one that is being asked for will be implemented? And such arguments are valid.
This is the fight for a new minimum wage. Mahmoud Shehu, a civil servant in northwestern Nigeria, Sokoto State, has one wife, 3 children, and other dependents. His monthly income is 30,000 naira, yet he spends over 50,000 naira on food alone, which never lasts for a month.
Like I, for one, apart from maybe the office work, you have to engage yourself in other skills work.
Similar to Mahmoud, Bello Labaran has 7 mouths to feed in his family. He says his paycheck embarrasses him.
I spent at least 30,000 naira every month just on transportation to work and what I eat, and that's for just me. Last week, my children were sent home from school because I haven't paid their fees.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics, there are a little over 100 million Nigerians who could be in the same situation as Mahmoud and Bello. With inflation biting hard, increased taxation and levies, inadequate power supply, and unpredictable access to petrol, and most recently, fuel subsidy removal, surviving is now a struggle. So, the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress stepped in, demanding an upward review of the minimum wage to a whopping 615,000 naira or $400. That's roughly 20 times the current earning of 30,000 naira or $20. How justifiable is that?
This is using a family of 6, a father, a mother, and 4 children, and each one of them feeding on 500 naira per meal.
Meanwhile, government has dangled 48,000 naira or $32 as the new minimum wage. Finding that insulting to Nigerian workers, organized labor took a walk, threatening to down tool by end of May should government not see from their perspective.
Can the government afford to pay such? I don't think so.
Who says government cannot pay? Government has more than enough to pay.
If that becomes the benchmark, it's likely that a lot of businesses won't be able to afford it.
Should labor's demand be met? There is a mixed bag of impact, especially as the minimum wage sets a benchmark to which no employer of labor should go below.
If workers earn decent wages, it stimulates the economy because they will have purchasing power.
A trader can decide to say that, oh, workers are not earning more. Why not let me just increase the cost of my item? They can afford it.
If you increase minimum wage to a certain amount, will that defeat the purpose? Will that lead to more unemployment, or will that lead to employment?
The minimum wage is a double-edged sword. So you be careful to hold the sword in the middle.
Average Nigerian workers also pitched in.
Both the government and the NLC, they are not doing justice to the country.
The government should listen to what the people want, and I believe that the NLC are standing, they represent the people.
615,000 naira is also very much, it's too much.
But there is a school of thought that says in negotiating new minimum wage, the Nigerian worker should be put front and center. So let's do an estimate of what it would take for a minimum wage earner with a family of 5 to survive in 1 month in an urban location like Lagos, Nigeria's commercial hub. But with the current prices of food items in the market, a family of 5 would have to cough out about 15,000 naira to prepare a pot of jollof rice. Now, if that family eats jollof rice twice a week, the breadwinner will have to spend about 120,000 naira in a month just for jollof rice. A loaf of bread costs between 1,200 and 1,500. Now, if the family eats bread every workday morning, that's between 24,000 and 30,000 naira every month. But the average price to refill a 12 kg cylinder of cooking gas is roughly 11,000 naira. But 10 bags of sachet water now costs roughly 5,000 naira. This means in a month, a minimum wage earner who has a wife and 3 children could spend up to 160,000 naira on food alone. But to commute in Lagos, he would have to pay an average of 1,000 naira from Ojota to Victoria Island, a 24-kilometer ride. In a month, he'll spend at least 40,000 naira on 20 working days. That's minus utility bills and other expenditure. On Tuesday, May 21, the Nigerian government throws a curveball, increasing the minimum wage proposal from 48,000 naira to 54,000 naira, in line with the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association's recommendation. This doesn't look enough to appease organized labor. As the impasse between the organized labor and government persists, what exactly is fair?
Pay 150,000.
For the minimum wage, since we are not greedy people, 100k is very, very okay.
It should not be less than anything, 120,000 naira.
Experts say if prices skyrocket faster than wages can catch up, even the pay raise might not be enough to shield workers from financial strain.
Improving the current social welfare programs. It's so critical.
When we begin to manufacture and we're beginning to employ people en masse, you will see the impact on the economy.
As the May 31 deadline from organized labor approaches, Nigerians say they look forward to a compromise, not another strike.
If they sit up and they are serious, we're going to reach a compromise. If they do not sit up, we have already given an ultimatum.
We have never supported downing of tools. A private business will not support it. Because when you go on strike, your interest payments on your loans, they don't go on strike.
While workers like Mahmoud and Bello are expectant for a raise as is their right, the implications of creating new salary structures and increasing minimum wage are complex and multifaceted. Hence the call for the debate to be holistic, better informed, and devoid of power play. Mercy Frank, Gist Nigeria.
Hopefully, Nigerian workers get the respite they need at this time. How much should be the minimum wage? Share your thoughts with us on Next at Gist Nigeria TV. We'd like to hear from you.